All right, everybody, feel free to start with questions.
Jeff, when you look at the game, obviously, if you take away the second quarter, you guys are pretty even. I guess what was the message to the team in this going into the second half, and I guess what do you take from that?
Well, I thought the first 5 minutes of the game we played well because we scored. We didn't guard the entire first half. It was our worst effort defensively that we've had this season, and it's really it's hard to explain knowing you're coming into a place against the third ranked team in the country, and you've got such an unbelievable opportunity on ESPN2 to showcase what we're all about, and we really just did not defend at all. So, when we went in the halftime, I talked to him. I'm like, guys, this is a pride issue right now. If we didn't score in the first half, we didn't defend. We didn't do anything we worked on for 2 solid days, and it showed. And then in the second half, it's not like all of a sudden we put in a new game plan. We stuck with the same. We actually executed the game plan that we had put in. And defensively, we were much, much better. But unfortunately, it's a game of 2 halves. It's not one half. Eric.
Yeah, Jeff, is there any value, and I know the whole value from losses and all that, is there any value in these players seeing we can play with these teams, we do what we're supposed to do? Basically, is there a teaching ability from that, or is there use from that for you from that standpoint?
Well, there, of course. I talked to him about it after the game in the locker room. We can play with anybody, but see, there's a mindset to it. There's a toughness to it. We sat there and worked for 2 days, Eric, on that fake dribble handoff on the side. We're like, guys, they don't hand it off, they fake it, and then turn the corner and shoot a layup. And they did it twice. Like the ones at the end of the quarter, it's like, guys, we can only tell you what they're going to do. We can't go out there and guard it for you. These kids know that we can play with, NC State's ranked third in the country. There's no doubt we can play with them. We can beat them. But the problem is you have to play for 40 minutes. And that's what I told him my concern is, I think a lot of our new ones, realize tonight too, the level you have to bring it at for 40 minutes. You can't just pick and choose, and then you can't get emotional when you miss a shot. We gave up, I don't know how many offensive rebounds. I think we gave up 8 points, and it might not show on the stat sheet, but I know they got 8 points after they got offensive boards, or we turned it over on an outlet pass. You just can't do that. Those are things that are in your control that we didn't do a very good job of controlling.
Jeff, you've talked about kind of challenging their pride as a way to build toughness. Did you notice a difference in the locker room after this game in terms of maybe just having a little more pride, or just kind of being a little more angry about this one than maybe, the other 2 or 3?
Well, I can't. It's not like I went in there and yelled and screamed at them and told them they were worthless and go home. Whatever. No, we just went in and talked to them. I was like, hey, this is what makes playing at the level we play at as difficult as it is every single night you're going out there and you're going to get everybody's best shot. And I know people say that. For the last 10 years, nobody has won more in this league than we have. So believe me, we're a big game for everybody. And it's something that I'm trying to make sure all of our new ones understand. Like, you can't come out. We came out, and I thought we did a great job in that, first few minutes of executing at the offensive end. We made shots, and then all of a sudden we started missing them. We didn't guard anybody. And then we get late in the game, and we cut it to 6 twice and give up 3-point shots on both of them. You just can't do that. And then we had open looks ourselves. and we missed them. So I told him, I said, you can't want more as a player and then not perform. So I challenge them, get in the gym, because we give them credit. They made open shots, especially at crunch time, and we missed some. And we have to do better.
There were a good many. You mentioned open shots that didn't go, and at the same time, Jada's having a rough night, but she knocks a big one down at the end. I mean, is there a way? If there was, you'd probably done it already, but to kind of get missed shots out of their mind for the rest of the game, for the defensive side of the game and the rebounding side of the game,
Well,
or did they overcome that as it went on?
I thought we did a much better job, Eric, in the second half of not letting a missed shot turn into a defensive breakdown. But no, was our problem in the first half. We'd miss a shot, jog back, and they'd be sprinting, and then we'd be on our heels, and then we'd give up a baseline jump shot, a putback, things that we went over that little double back screen they run for the post. They ran in the first half. They scored a layup. We went over it. We're like, guys, when they come this set, and we're yelling what it was, and still got scored on it. So we just got to be able to keep our focus, and make sure we're mentally stronger and tougher for Thursday night.
Are you still?
Oh, Eric, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, you're good, Eric. Go ahead.
Well, if you have a player like James who's getting hot, a year ago, Mikasa probably says, let me do this. Do you have that yet? Do you have somebody to go to, or just somebody that wants that challenge, or is it?
We don't yet have that. We don't yet have that one that I can just say, you got to get her. Now, I got to give James some credit now. She made some tough shots. She made some really tough shots. It's not like she had them all open, but I've got to also tip my hat to her, because the kid's gotten a ton better while she's been here. She's obviously been in the gym. Her shot has improved, her consistency, her 3-point shot, and that's getting in the gym. That's putting the time in. And I talk to our kids about it. I say it's like studying for an exam. You can't study for one night. You can't fail an exam and then for the next exam go, I'll study one night for it and think it's going to help. Like, it's hours and hours upon hours, day after day, of working on your ball handling, working on your shooting, and it might take a month before you actually start seeing the results from all the hard work that you put in. But I've got to give her a ton of respect. Their entire team, I thought, competed and played hard. I thought we did a pretty darn good job on their post kids. We did a great job on Sanaya Rivers. But then we do a poor job on James. It was just a frustrating night there in the first half for sure. Mason.
Jeff, you've kind of stressed this whole week about how big of a stretch this is for you guys now, especially now getting ready for Thursday. With how frustrating of a game this is, what is practice going to look like now these next couple of days, and what's going to be the biggest emphasis to make sure that they continue to get up for these big games?
Well, every game's a big game. I'm upset we lost. It's not like I'm frustrated. It's not like I'm going home and taking a Tito's bottle and seeing if I can finish the whole thing. You have to move on. Every game in this league is a tough game. Just look at the scores of the teams that are being played. So I know everybody's going, oh, you got Syracuse and NC State and Notre Dame, and you're back at Syracuse. It's just the next game on the schedule. You got to play everybody. So it's just a matter of when you play them. So, yeah, we're going to sit here. We talked about it. We'll watch film tomorrow, about 5 or 7 minutes on this game here. And then all of our focus is going to be on a really, really talented Notre Dame team.
You mentioned scoring early. It seems like Olivia's getting a little more comfortable as far as her mid-range shot or kind of that fade away. How much growth have you seen in her shot selection of not just, sticking in the post, but kind of going outside for some shots too?
Well, I think O's really grown as a player. She's worked on her 8 to 10 foot to 12 foot range shot. That's something that she takes a ton of pride in. And I'm happy for her because, you know, she put that work in the spring and the summer and the fall, and you're seeing it. Her consistency of being in the gym is something that she really put forth this past off season, and just really looking to see as her game continues to blossom. Her ball handling has improved, which has also made things easier for her when she's on the floor. Anybody else? All right, everybody. I sure appreciate y'all, and look forward to seeing everybody on Thursday night.
Thanks, Jeff.